Despite the progress of modern society, single women in Nigeria continue to face housing discrimination, an issue that reinforces harmful stereotypes. Interesting. I mean, that was in Nigeria, but currently in Ghana, the World Bank gender data shows that only, and let me say this again, only 8.1% of women in Ghana own land. Only. That's less than 10%. And, the interesting thing is that though we're in a modern society, this is part of the cultural norm. And a lot of single women, look, in Ghana, you have discretionary income and you have a higher level or higher potential for risk taking. So we should be investing more in properties. Now let's watch this video.
To tell me, if I came to you as a single woman, why wouldn't you give me an apartment?
As an African, I don't think it's a right to a woman to look for apartment.
So where am I supposed to live? Under the bridge?
You live under your husband.
But I don't have a husband, so what am I supposed to do?
You have to look for one as an African.
These are the statements that make women stay in very abusive marriages that lead to their death.
Let me tell you, if you are married to somebody,
yes,
that day you sighted your eye on that person that you are going to marry him, you have to be submissive to the call.
Even when he's trying to kill you.
Endure.
Even when he's trying to kill you.
You have chosen. That is Africa for you. You have chosen.
You see, historically, there's been what we call a patrilineal system that limits women's land ownership rights, okay? And legally, female property rights only gained traction in the 1990s. So prior to 1800, women in most countries were unable to vote, and they had no say over their own children or property, and they could not obtain a divorce. In 1979, the UN Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women set an agenda for expanding women's rights around the world. Shortly after, the International Bill of Rights for Women was instituted by the UN General Assembly in 1981 and has been ratified by 189 member states since. The state of New York passed the Married Women's Property Act in 1848, and almost all states had given women the legal right to own property by 1900. Now, the biblical perspective. If you take a look at Numbers 27, verse, let's say 27, God told Moses that the Zelophehad's daughters were right in wanting their father's property as their inheritance, because all along, when the father had died, the property had to be passed on to a male figure in the family. But the 5 daughters stood for their rights to own the father's inheritance. That's the biblical perspective. And that's when things began to change for women. There is empowerment through real estate. There has got to be a mindset shift to empower you through informed investment decisions. I strongly believe in advocating homeownership for women. Real estate empowers women by providing income and security. In fact, real estate as an investment can increase overall income levels and act as a hedge against inflation. I want to encourage women across the globe to begin to have this mindset shift and begin to acquire real property. I can help you. Just make sure you book an appointment with me. And in the month of March for International Women's Day, I look forward to helping women in this nation and beyond to begin to be empowered through real estate homeownership. Educate a woman, you educate a community. So why not start today and leave a legacy and build generational wealth through home ownership, one house at a time.